do wish I talked more about metal on this channel. I must say it's something that I don't ever really feel fully qualified to talk about metal. There are some really good metal channels already, regularly talking about metal music and metal publications. I just don't know if I have a great deal to offer to the conversation, and also I don't really listen to as much metal as I do other genres on the channel either. Not necessarily even on the channel actually, just in my own time, just when I'm listening to music, new music, I very rarely gravitate towards metal. But the one thing about Liturgy that I feel like encompasses a lot of music lovers today is that a lot of music lovers I come across don't talk a lot about metal as much as other genres either, but they do seem to really like this band. I guess they're a little bit like Death Heaven in that sense. They unify sort of that crowd of people that are definitely interested in the genre, but they're not really like taking much of a deep dive into it. And they still have an appeal though that manages to cross a lot of barriers, I guess. And so far, I've been very less than impressed with what I've heard from Liturgy. I think the 2011 album Aesthetica is dreadful. Like, I hated that shit. I did hear the artwork back when it dropped, I think, but I haven't gone really back to it to really formulate much of an opinion. So this new album, I guess, I was kind of avoiding it a little bit. Didn't really know if there was any reason to go into it when I didn't like the previous work at all. But I've got to say, I've been nearly swayed by this album. H.A.Q.Q. It's pretty alright. It still has glaring issues. I think they still aren't really appealing to my ears in the ways that I want them to, but there are so many moments on this album where I feel like they're almost completely nailing it. Tracks like Pasaqalia, for example, I just find to be way more tolerable than what I've remembered from Liturgy's past work. I just think the vocals feel more contained, the instrumental isn't quite as jaggedy and like abrasive and all over the place. But then again, you've got tracks like this that I feel like work, but then the opening track, the first track on the album, was enough for me to nearly turn it off instantly, because I just think this brings back what they've always done in their music that just doesn't really work. The blood-curdling vocals, and I fucking mean blood-curdling, like these vocals are so fucking hard to stomach for me. I just think it sounds near but for some reason this is really the only time on the album where this happens, which I find really cool. I find it really weird. I didn't think that would be the case, because you've got these piano driven tracks, the Exaco 1, 2, 3, that I actually think are really quite impactful, like especially the third one, but even still I think the first two are really good as well in their own right. I like the way they all kind of lead up to each other in a way. Like the first one's really beautiful, but it has these weird little stutters every now and then as you go progress through, each of them, you start to feel this tension building. The second one has this like harrowing church type music that I think is sort of leading into the third and final one, which kind of goes a bit off the rails. It's so twisted and haunting by that point, and yet it still sounds freaking great. I'm really impressed how they can, have these tracks in the midst of these chaotic, deathly metal ones. I'd love to see what they could do if they incorporated these piano tracks just into fully fleshed out albums where they utilize these instrumentals and see what they do with like the vocals. I'd love to hear what the vocalist would sound like without him screaming in my face. I feel like there's potential for them to go down like the lingua ignota type of sound, where you've got these really painful vocals over these really, really slow and menacing piano type instrumentals. There's potential here, I think, for them to do that. I'm also just happy that I'm at a point where I'm actually quite enjoying tracks like God of Love, where the instrumental ascends. Of course, it sounds like a liturgy song, and somehow I'm not really hating it like I usually am. The title track begins to test my patience just a little bit once again though, but I do like the transition into the closing track with this one, where it goes into the more ominous type of piano stuff that they were doing on a few of the other tracks here. Yeah, I guess like the transitions for this album to go from the extremes to the almost very quiet and alluring instrumentals is a bit odd, but I kind of feel like it works. Just not quite there yet for me personally, but I suppose the tables have turned just a little bit. I guess I will be going a 6 out of 10. Definitely interested to seeing what people think of this one. If you're a huge fan of this band, where do you think it stands in their discography? Is this their best so far? It seems to be the most beloved one so far, I think. Anyway, but if you, if you're not a fan of this band at all, then I definitely want to hear what you think of this one. Thank you for watching my review. Hopefully you understood where I'm coming from. This band is really quite an acquired taste. I'd be quite surprised if people got really angry over this review, but then again, um, I've had some wild comments in the past, so I shouldn't be too naive. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.